Watched an old documentary last night called 5 Steps to Tyranny, yeah. Colourful bedtime material that fills you with hope for the future. I say old, it was made in 2000, so the horrors of the atrocities in the former Yugoslavia and the Rwanda genocide are still fresh in the mind then. They go over the Stanley Milgram experiment here and its implications. I'll link to the doc below. It's a little grainy, not the best recording, but there we go. So the 5 steps are us and them, in-group, out-group, home team good, away team bad. 2, an almost unquestioning tendency to obey orders, obedience to authority figures. 3, sometimes running completely against our own conscience, we are willing to harm other people if ordered to do so, which follows on from 1 and 2. Dominant in-group, obedience to the leader or leaders. Justifications can be found for attacking the enemy. This could be where dehumanization of minorities comes into play. Number 4 is called stand up or stand by, where they talk about the importance of free speech, and we see Speaker's Corner in London. So the programme is getting the point over that challenging or dissenting is important. Shitty ideas should be challenged. Being the bystander, remaining silent, can be dangerous or irresponsible. It's one of those things that we all do, or have done though, isn't it? Play the bystander. Step 5 is extermination or ethnic cleansing, and it's really disturbing. A guy describing how former members of his own community turned on him in the Yugoslav disintegration conflict. And this man is saying how he found it difficult to understand, even years later, how his neighbours could turn into bloodthirsty genocidal killers in a short amount of time. And this fellow must have moved or fled to Britain. Yeah. Could it happen here? Much faster than you think, he says. Well, the worst of human behaviour can happen pretty much anywhere given a certain set of circumstances and toxic ingredients. We all have our biases and loyalties and triggers, and clever people who have power over us, they know what buttons to press. What can we do? Learn to recognise our own flaws, step back and try to be as objective as we can, work on our critical thinking skills, all that good stuff. Question authority, not because it's trendy or edgy, but because it's essential to a functioning free society and a democratic system. One thing I will say about the documentary, a criticism I mean, regarding the train experiment. Giving up the seat to a stranger. Someone brought this up in the comments. It might just have been that people were giving up their seats because they sensed danger. Maybe the dude asking to have your seat, when there are lots of other seats available, is a couple of cans short of a 6-pack. You know, you do a quick calculation. Yeah, so to avoid confrontation you go, yeah, you can have my seat, mate. Go ahead, buddy. So that was a flawed experiment, I think. But then they bring in the authority figure in full uniform next to the guy asking for your seat, and what do you know? 100% of people get up and move. Still though, I'm thinking flawed test. Conclusions could be off base. Not considering variables might be a factor here. But I don't know. It's interesting anyway. It's a good documentary. Worth a watch. Yeah. I'll see you next week, ladies and gents. Take it easy if you can. Peace.